Secret 43, glissando or partimento. Now the two terms, glissando and partimento, are often used interchangeably. The technique I want to talk about is this kind of glissando. Now to do this, you need to have a very flexible throat movement. And to develop throat flexibility, the first thing you want to do is to play harmonics. What I'll do is I'll start with an open G. I'll play the first harmonic, which is a high D, and then the second harmonic, which is a high B flat, without moving the fingers, just changing the shape of the throat, ha, he, and of course the speed of the air. It goes faster and faster. I can do all kinds of notes. I'm going to do G, and I'm going to go down F sharp and F, and I will keep doing my harmonics to develop my throat movements. Ha, he, ha, he. And so on. The next exercise I want to do is a little bit harder. I want to do harmonics, but from low notes. Another really good exercise is to do harmonics from the high D, which is an open G, and glissing with your throat a half step at a time. So I'm going to start on a high D, which is open, first harmonic of G, and I'm going to attempt to go to C sharp, and then I'm going to go back to my D, and then go down to my C, and so on. One good way to practice that exercise is to make sure that you go up and down very slowly by increments. Because if you go too fast, you will drop the tone, as so. So I will try it faster. So now I practiced 3 exercises to improve my throat flexibility. And that is really the secret for a good glissando. I'm going to do now a C to C glissando. What you want to do is you start on your C, and to practice it, you do the C fingering, and then you lift your fingers right here, and you lift the tips of the fingers first. And you crack the note until you catch some kind of harmonic, and then when you do have the harmonic, then you do movements with your throat to go up. So what I want to make sure is to not do my movements with my throat too quickly. So I will do my fingerings a little bit, and then when I reach the C, with my fingers, the position in my mouth will be the equivalent of a B. So it's like shadowing. I'm just doing my throat movements a little bit behind the actual fingering. Now basically, I'm moving my fingers, but I really don't need to. So it helps to do it somewhat. However, the real movements are in the throat, and of course there's a little subtle movements in the jaw. When you start, you loosen up your jaw, and as you go higher with your throat movements, you also go more and more normal with your embouchure. So a glissando from C to C will pretty much feel like this with my mouth. Like this. So one thing to practice, which is quite difficult, is glissandos in the bottom register. So this is a little bit of throat, but very much of jaw and finger movements. So right now I'll do a glissando starting low G. To do a glissando in a low G and going up, I really find some kind of order with my fingers. So there's a technique to do the glissando in a low register, as I just explained with the fingers, to try to find some kind of order with your fingers, and eventually, after squeaking for many weeks, you will find the proper order that works for you. So now, when I do my glissando in the upper register, I use a lot of my throat. Now the trick is to combine both. If I play a low register glissando and I want to connect it to a mid register, to a high register, I have to combine all these techniques. I'll start with the fingers and the jaw, and then I'll move to closing the throat a little bit, and then I'll do a few fingerings in the throat tones, and then I'll try to catch that harmonic that I was speaking about, and then I will do my throat movements and hope for the best. So that was Secret 43, Glissando.